Two, one. And welcome back, guys, to the ONETRIBE podcast. We're squeezing ourselves into the screen here, and I've got my second guest for the year. I know we've been a bit late on putting this stuff out, but yeah, I mean, work calls, work duties call, and it is what it is. But here is my younger sister, Josie, not actually blood related, but family related in Dubai, DXB family. And yeah, so we've got Josie in today talking about all things cabin crew, flying, and transition into fitness. So welcome, Josie. Welcome.
Thank you for the invitation.
No, that's good. She's shy. Where are you from, Jose? Give me a bit of lowdown on your background.
Background Samoan. Australia is.
Yeah, keep going.
Australia's home. Brisbane.
Brizzy.
Yes.
Lovely. Sorry, guys, just turning on the camera. So Samoan born. Okay, so for some of the followers who don't know where Samoa is, it is in the Pacific Islands. It is very close to where,
Fiji.
yeah, my parents are from, Fiji. So over that side of the world. Beautiful island, very remote. It's not as commercial as some of the other islands. So Samoa is still keeping things real over there. And Australia has a big population of Samoan immigrants, just like all the other Pacific nations, and we call Australia home. So yeah, give me a bit about your background. We spoke about it before we went on air. You were born in Samoa.
Yes.
And you left at what age?
I was born and grew up in Samoa, and I left around I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And I moved straight to Warwick, which is a town that's 2 hours away from Brisbane.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a big.
So 17's a late start for like an immigration, like in the immigration factor there. Like I know a lot of, immigrants that come to Australia either move when they were kids or like babies, or their parents first came to Australia first and then they were born in Australia, like myself. So 17's a big one. And so the adjustment that you had to make from the islands to now country life in Australia, not city life, country life. Yeah. I'm assuming you had to grow up fast being a country girl now, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it kind of sped me it was a wake-up call, really, because literally there was no islanders in Warwick. We were the only Samoan family in the town. So yeah, it kind of helped me pretty much, learn the way the Australians, learn the Aussie way.
The Aussie way, yeah, exactly. So, all right, so you did a bit of time in the country, and then from 17 onwards, you were saying you went into a cabin crew role for a private charter company, right?
Yes. Before Emirates, I was flying for a private charter company, and we used to fly the Australian military from Darwin to Dubai. Yeah. So that was Brisbane. I moved to Darwin for that job. Yeah.
So that's how you got your first taste of Dubai. So
yes,
Darwin,
exactly.
Guys, for people who don't know, in this region, Darwin is like Northern Territory, top end of Australia.
It was
the Red Desert. So when you see photos of Australia, as like if you live here in Dubai, that's what you're seeing. The Ayers Rock, the Red Desert. So the real Australia. So Jose went from the beautiful islands of the Pacific straight to the desert of Australia. So yeah, chartered company, was flying to Dubai. You got your taste here, and then
that's how I actually love Dubai.
Yeah.
And I realized I wanted to fly more. And so that's how I ended up in Emirates, applied for Emirates, and here I am.
Beautiful. So now how long have she's currently with Emirates. She was one of the lucky fam that, I guess lucky or maybe not lucky, that kept her job with Emirates.
Really grateful that I'm still here.
For those who follow me, we had a family out here with about, 25, 30 people. We've all known each other for plenty of time, and it was just it was a central hub for everyone. We wouldn't see each other all the time, but when we did, it was a good laugh, and it was a lot of Pacific Islanders in that group as well. So we've lost pretty much 95% of them. They're all back home now and starting their lives, and there's only a few of us left. Josie's definitely one of them. So still with Emirates.
Yes, still with Emirates. For now, I'm really happy with flying, but eventually I'm moving forward to
greener pastures.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's get there. So I advertised this podcast coming out from cabin crew flying to fitness, to transition. Now, Josie started her journey in the fitness industry just recently. She graduated, she's passed her certificates, and basically is now stepping into the fitness world here in Dubai. Let's talk about that transition. So you've started off, you've always had a passion for fitness. You've played rugby,
Yes.
you still play rugby.
Yeah.
And then this was an easy transition in terms of like keeping things going for training wise, your own training.
It did help.
Yeah.
Playing rugby and always being active actually makes it easier for me to transition from, into the fitness world. Yeah, that helped a lot.
With that being said, now you're starting to pick up clients and slowly acquire like little groups that you're training, friends, family out here. How are you finding the business side of it, or starting to build your own platform? Is it what you thought it was going to be, or is it a lot harder?
I never really had any expectations of what's gonna be like. I actually found right after I passed my certificate, I found something a gig straight away. So it wasn't really hard to find something, but it is hard to build your own, to establish your
Profile.
own profile. And obviously trying to find those like single clients, that's hard, because you gotta establish your profile and people will like what you do and stuff like that. So I'm in that process. So I know it takes time. I'm not expecting too much, but I am growing and learning, and I'm learning from you.
So like with what we did sort of in the last couple of years, in terms of I know of probably 10 females that were or currently working with Emirates who have decided to go into this side of fitness. And it's an interesting one because, there's two things I look at that now, being in the game for a while. It's always going to be female friendly, this industry. And especially when you guys are like, you've got the look, pretty girls coming into the industry for your social media. That's awesome. I feel that's awesome because it's always going to work for you. You're going to get more engagement, say, than I would of putting a photo up. The engagement rate's going to be a lot higher. But then on the flip side, it is that we know that looks, the way your body is, et cetera, is not always going to convert into sales and clients. People can like a photo, but will they ultimately train with you? Now let's go there. Is that something that you're seeing now on the introduction of social media and how much you use it? The conversion rate for you is, you're starting to see it is quite hard. Like you might convert 1 out of 20 people, right? Like something like that.
I mean, obviously it's, people will like what you look, like how your arms, but as you said, it's not gonna convert like 10 out of of what you look. But I think it depends on, I think people like, if people like who you are, really, if you're being authentic, if they like what you talk about, what you post, maybe you'll convert a few people from there. But you gotta find your, as you are like tribe,
your lane, right?
And find those customers that like what you do.
Absolutely. So personality is a big thing, you think?
Exactly. You gotta have a personality.
100%. And that's big. I think we, with our last guest, she was a female trainer as well, Misha, we had her on, and same thing we talked about there was having that, having your personality come out in front rather than anything else. Because look, looks might fade with age and et cetera, I don't know, but personality will always be around, and that's something that's authentic. And being in such a city where it's so hit and miss with people you meet, personalities never gel, because you never get to know somebody long enough to know their personality. So with what we do, I feel we've got to be open and raw from day one when we meet someone. This is me, this is how I am. And look, don't get me wrong, when I was younger in the industry, I was also playing devil's advocate, because I was giving this whole false personality to people because I thought that's what they wanted.
That's what I'm not doing.
Yeah. And that's awesome.
I'm trying not to do that, like being my authentic self.
Absolutely.
Whatever you see on my social media
is what you get.
It's what you get.
Yeah. And that's one thing I am proud of you seeing now. And so I think I've said that to you so many times. And not that you haven't, but I said, be yourself. Be yourself. As I said as well, and I keep saying it, like I said it this morning to one of our members, is that unfortunately out here, I feel there's not enough mentors who have gone before giving just small advice or personal experiences to people like yourself who are new in the industry to go, right, this is where I had problems, or this is what I did that didn't work. Maybe now learn from that. You know what I mean? So that's awesome that you can step into such a fickle industry where, you know, now it's all about looks.
Yeah.
I feel like
I mean, the industry is, everyone knows the industry is flooded with, there's so many.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess the difference is if you want to be different from everyone else, you got to be your authentic self. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is.
Because
stand out. Do you also feel, being new, that everything that you see these days on Instagram or social media, it blends into one, right? It's very hard to.
I've seen especially Instagram. I'm active on Instagram, so I've seen a lot of things, and everything seems to be the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything is the same. I guess that's why they're saying like everything is what you call saturated.
Yeah.
Like fitness is saturated.
Yeah,
with so if you're, as myself, I'm really new into this.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get caught up in that.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
Because look, at the end of the day, and I also harp on this shit all the time. I said it to someone this morning. I was like, what I do, what Josie does, there's no difference. Yes, I have the experience on her, but her teaching a squat, me teaching a squat, relatively the same. The cueing, the coaching cues might be different on the way we teach them, but look, at the end of the day, a squat's a squat, right? But like you said, it's the personality that carries you over the line. It's how you are explaining that squat. Can you relate to somebody who has a back injury? You know, there's little things like this, and that's what I feel like sometimes gets missed out on a gym floor. Like I posted something the other day on Instagram, was that, what version of PT do you get? Are you paying as a client for a PT to chat to you on your working set, or is he dialed in, focused, watching for, you know, the way you're pulling or pushing so he can correct it during the set? Or is this PT actually having a conversation and not letting your mind muscle activity happen during the set? So, you know, and I got a good response from that, because a lot of people are saying, oh my God, we see this every day. And I do. I see it every day on the gym floor, is that a PT will be standing there talking to a client while that client is meant to be pulling, pushing, doing a deadlift. I'm like, how is that? It's counterproductive, right? So it's counterproductive, but it's easy money. And this city and people in it will throw money at stupidity, unfortunately. You know what I mean? So I feel like when you're outside that price bracket, that people go, oh, you're fucking a little bit expensive. And then someone you turn around and you go, well, there's a reason why I'm expensive. And here's the two reasons. And then they go with the cheaper option. They find out very quickly that, oh, okay, well, 100 dirham more. This is why it's 100 dirham more. So it's like going to a tattoo parlor. I've got plenty of tats, but I go to someone who's trusted and loves their work. So I know that they're going to sit there and take time for the lines and this, that, the other, you know what I mean? So it's no different there. I think being thorough as a PT, being an individual, being yourself, is what's going to make you super, like relatable to your clients, and B is you'll last this journey. Like if this is something you want to take from now to whenever, own your own gym, you know, in the future, this will be the setup to that. You're going to go through many versions of yourself in the next 5 to 10 years too. Like you will.
Yeah, we keep evolving. I
Absolutely.
guess. Yeah.
And like things you will do now in 5 years time, you look back and go, oh shit, like, but it's maturing. I've done it. Everybody before me has done it. You mature, then you find your lane. You can't be stubborn in an industry like this as a PT. You can't. Like
you can't be. You
absolutely.
have to I mean, as I said before with our other conversation, you gotta be yourself at the same time. You gotta keep evolving, changing.
Yeah.
And we talked about how like trends and stuff
Yeah.
in the industry.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. So let's go there. Because we were speaking about this before. So Jose was saying that you've got to keep up with the trends in this industry. And I agreed, but then I also had the other side of the footwear is that sometimes you can go against the trends or whatever that is and still stand out, if that makes sense. So give me your 4 and why you think we need to go with the trends or keep up with trends.
Yes. Well, as we all know, like technology wise, everything nowadays is, for example, TikTok. And now we have Instagram Reels. We have on YouTube, we have YouTube Shorts. Sorry. Yeah. So, for example, I'm gonna make myself as an example of I have a YouTube channel and
mention it. What is it? What's the channel?
Josie Taofinnuu Fitness.
Okay, we'll put the link. We'll put the links in the description
so
at the bottom.
An example of going with the trends is, say, trying to grow a channel is hard, right? And so what I've learned is YouTube came up with the idea of shorts, which is short videos, to keep up with TikTok. Yeah. And so they introduced that. And I found that I have more views on shorts than my normal videos, because nowadays no one likes to watch a video that's 10, 90-second, right?
Exactly.
Or more.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a lot of people have short like span of concentration.
Yeah.
And so now we all know we have all these like TikTok videos. So people, if a video is really interesting, people will watch that video. And so that's my version of trying to keep up with the trends.
And you know
helps. It helps you a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you have to change yourself to do it. You know.
No,
that's my
I actually, you know, it's funny you say this, because there was one thing a friend of mine asked me, well, what are you going to do this week? And it's my week off and I meant to take it off, but obviously being in Dubai, it's hard to switch off from work, etc. So I said, look, I'm going to make content a priority, because I feel like I don't put enough out. I put a lot of stuff of my members who train with us, photos, etc., but valuable content. I feel like stuff like this that I love doing, you know, talking about, I feel like I come across well when I talk about stuff that's relatable to the industry, but not industry based. I think that's my lane. You know what I mean? In saying that, I need to get better at it. I need to do at least 1 or 2 videos a week. I don't do enough. It's hard.
Exactly. I'm trying to do content and it's hard, but saying that, that's an excuse. I'm busy, you're busy.
No, 100%.
But you got to make time for the content if you really want to do that.
Like for you guys who might be watching this going, oh, you guys fucking, you're personal trainers. What do you do? Count reps. Okay. Yes. A part of our life is that on the gym floor and whatnot. But then, you know, doing stuff like this, you're taking content, you're making videos. You've got to go then spend 2 hours editing these videos. But then you've got
it's not easy.
Yeah, exactly. You got your next client. So, you know, on average, a good PT will work 10 or 11 hours a day here. But then there's all the online work we've got to do, the editing, the fucking, you know, making ads, promos, just whatever you're into, banners. So it's a good 14-hour day when you look at it up. And you're not walking 14 hours straight, I understand, but it's tiring, you know, it's time consuming.
It's not easy.
You know, it's not easy. So, you know, when you turn around one day, I know a lot of members and clients have, you know, look at us and go, oh, you get to do what you love for a living. You guys are lucky. Yes, there's a part of that is awesome. But at the same time, it's
hard
fucking
work.
Hustle, man. It's a hustle. If you don't do this, and like you said, I do agree, if you don't keep up with your neighbors and your other trainers, you're going to get left behind.
But the thing is, keep up with the trends, right? But at the same time, it's hard to what I'm trying to do right now is just to focus on my journey, focus on you, focus on me. Otherwise, it's going to be so easy to look at others, other trainers out there,
and just get lost in it,
and get lost, you know. And that is a really bad,
slippery slope.
So make sure you just focus on you, focus on what you're doing and what you're providing, and hopefully people will see it.
Nice, Jose. Nice. That's good. Good advice. So, look, next step for you is where you're building your profile now. You're building your channels and everything like that. As we said, that's hard work. Where do you want to see yourself? I know you had also touched on you do want to end up back home at some stage, back in Australia. Okay, so like from here on in, obviously, it's building your knowledge base here and an idea of the business so you can obviously go back home. What are the plans in the next, say, 2 years? Let's give you open 2 years.
Okay. I'm just studying, which is I'm grateful for Dubai for giving me the experience, all these gyms that's giving me the opportunity to do stuff with them. But eventually I'm moving home. Home is, where I'm going to build this in the future. So eventually I want to build my own brand, like my own thing in fitness and growing that brand and expanding it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And that's, that's, I guess, an admiration and, for any trainer, they want to build their own profile, build their own gym. That's where you should head with that. And, that it's awesome that you have that vision coming up. Now, my next question is, right, so I feel like not enough of this gets done in this city, and that's why as I said, I'm not the best with putting out the podcasts where they should be maybe twice a month, but collaborating with people around you. Do you feel like that's important?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because you can build something, right? But you can't be successful by yourself
as an individual.
You need as an individual, you need help eventually from others. So it's okay to network. That is a word that's really popular at the moment, is networking.
Do you feel like, and because we watch a lot of the same, like I get on YouTube pretty much every night and watch a lot of content creators, a lot of people in the industry, but even outside the industry. I love my fashion. I love my the culture that brings like hip hop culture with clothing and binds us. So I watch a lot of these guys work, and there's a crew in Sydney that I'm following, and they've done it such a good job in collaborating with athletes, just the norm up and coming businesses, but to use their platform and then to bring people up. So everyone wins. If I win, you win, because you were on this channel. That's where we saw you, and I want to train with, etc., right? So I feel like not enough of that happens in the city.
I'm not sure. I mean, you probably know better than me, but I mean, right now we are networking.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, so networking is a thing right now, because if you want to grow your network, social media, whatever, that helps.
Well, they say, there's an old saying that your net worth is your network, right? Yes. So being in this game 15 years here, it was hard. Like sometimes you want to be the king of the castle on your own, or the queen of the castle. But as I've matured, I've also realized that you can't be at the top alone.
No, you can't. And you have to ask for help.
Absolutely.
Knowledge.
And at the end of the day, everybody is as good as each other. It's how it comes across. So once I dropped that ego, which left me about 5 years ago, I started to realize that, everyone around me brings something to the table. It's just what they bring to the table. And it's if I let them sit at that table, that's the other thing too, right? So I've got more of a mature mindset now to say, okay, Josie, let's do a podcast together because you bring something to the table.
Thank you.
Right. And I believe that. But at the same time, is that this also benefits me in doing this, right? So I feel like more of that shit's got to happen in this city, because I don't
know if it's
not, man. Like you'll get people who train together and film together, but in terms of like collaborations and creative content, there's not much. Like honestly, like me and you training together. Okay, there's a clip here, there's a clip there, but can you start something that objectively works hand in hand? Do you know what I mean? From a male's perspective, a female's perspective.
I just had an idea.
Go on. Yeah.
When I move home, I can do this podcast from home.
Yeah. Like, but this is the thing. It's. I feel like it's opening up conversations. It's obviously. I've got my network, you've got yours.
Yeah.
Now they watch this, that both networks come together.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the other thing that's priceless.
And the other thing is really comes down to who you have around you.
Yeah.
Like having those friends that are supportive, having those friends that are business minded, talk about things for the future, not talk about rubbish, you know? So
perfect example. And let's touch on that now. Let's say we were talking about, and I say this to her a lot, is that in your group factor, you start something solo and you do see the support system change, right? And, you know, this is not to make anyone feel bad when I say this, is that you do, friends are friends. Friends will always be friends. I
love my friends.
But you, in this city,
do you know who you are?
In this city, I feel like you have more strangers support you than your own circle.
I don't think I don't think it's just in Dubai. I think it's in general.
Yeah.
Because you see those random people. Well, I get it on Instagram. Random people that appreciate what they see on your page, you know? So those are some randoms, you know, like you don't even know these people, but they appreciate what they see. So these are the other things that you actually don't see at the front, but you have it in the background, you know? So that means it gives you more of like a good feeling that you're doing something good that's helped someone out there. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's a weird thing. I also feel like I'm only going to go off this city because I've lived here for so long. I don't know what other cities do, but I know the culture in the US, everyone collaborates with everyone. Everyone's bigging up everyone. You know what I mean?
Because they know it works.
Absolutely. Even in the UK is huge. You've got so many content creators and fitness sort of guys and girls out here at the moment from the UK, and they're all working together. Everyone's on everyone's YouTube channels. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like sometimes, you know, I don't want to like that post of that person because it's giving them the leg up. No, it's not. A like doesn't mean shit. If you like someone's content,
it doesn't.
Like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. Fair enough. I get that. But, you know, like...
I see you.
Yeah, like it's crazy how many people will go, oh,
yeah,
you know, I don't watch your shit because it's too long, or I saw your photo. I'm like, okay, well, you know, the more engagement I get on a video, the better for me, because I will get more people looking at that.
I mean, if I like something I see, I like it. If
Absolutely.
I don't
like it. Exactly. You don't have to be fake about it, but at the same time, don't not like it because you think you're going to give somebody else the leg up.
Yes, that's the wrong mindset.
Exactly.
About it, you know,
like I want to see everyone succeed around me. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, that if you want someone to succeed, that means you're confident in yourself, you know, because you're not threatened by the other person. Absolutely,
man. So look, if you're listening, like all our shit, even if you don't like us. No, but it's a thing that I think a lot of people have to start, you know, even family and friends. I'm talking to family and friends here. Like, I know you guys see my shit and don't like it. And like, just press like, because that stuff means I'm not taking that personal, but I'm saying it's going to generate more views, more people eyes on what I do for a living. And this is how I make my money. You know what I mean? So, you know, as I said, be real about it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But like, obviously support is the biggest thing that small businesses and small profiles need. And that's where we're at, you know what I mean? So
yeah, like have a good support system is a good thing. And if you don't have that support system around you, you can watch videos, read books, whatever that will help you.
Now, I'm just going to quickly segue into this. I gave this advice 2 weeks ago to a friend of mine. I was very critical on some of the choices she was making in terms of people she was hanging around with. And I said, look, you know, certain things going on in her life, whatever, right? And I said, look, the people you've chosen to hang around with right now are bringing nothing to the table. These are people who don't have like admirations. They don't have dreams. They just want to sit and sort of be in their own little depressed cloud. That's only going to make you depressed. The same, right? So what's you touched on it before. What's your thoughts on being around people that lift you up? It's huge, right?
It makes such a big difference.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, if you're around people that are always talking about other bad stuff about other people, or not even just that, like just a different mood, you're eventually going to be one of them.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're around people that always like in a happy mood,
creative,
creative mindset,
yeah,
you're obviously going to become them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you don't have that support system around you,
yeah,
because it is hard, it's not easy to find like-minded people.
Yeah.
Right. So, but if you don't get books that will help you
your mindset
with your mind,
yeah.
or watch video. YouTube has a lot of videos that help you with that.
Yeah.
So it does come back to you of what you can do about it, you know. I'm really happy that I have friends that are on the same level as me.
Yeah.
And that help a lot.
Good. Right. So I'm just clock watching here, but there was another topic I wanted to really touch. We're going to touch on it quickly. I think I might get Jose back on my channel at some point to talk about this separately, because this was a good chat. But right. So we're both from Pacific backgrounds. I did mention this to you. We, as our small nations, strive. We have some of the best athletes on earth that play various sports,
especially men in rugby.
Yeah, but like now, even the females, we've got female MMA fighters, we've got female sevens players. Like it's a lot happening from that Pacific region.
A lot of potentials.
Absolutely. But here's the thing: growing up, we were never taught on healthy lifestyle. Now, coming from, like, I was born in Australia, so I can't relate to this, but coming from the islands, you don't have access to eating shit food. It's relatively,
no, everything is organic.
Yeah.
Now I know what organic means.
Right.
Back then, I didn't think the fruits that we get from the shops.
Yeah, you grew
Australia,
up organic, exactly.
I thought they were normal.
But
then I realized they're all fed with all these things. So yeah.
Now look, here's the point I was trying to make, and we'll touch on this on another podcast, I guess. But we're so good at the sports, and we strive hard to be excellent athletes, etc., and we're praised when we are, right? But there was never a guideline on how to get there. So I feel like if our Pacific brothers and sisters aren't pushed, they won't go that extra mile.
Or having the knowledge.
And I'm generalizing. I don't want to offend anyone, but yeah.
Or having the knowledge to go that, to the other side.
To the other side, yeah.
Has, I mean, this is in general. I don't want to, but we both know how our Pacific Islanders are.
Yeah.
Yeah. They love their food.
They love their food. They love their drink.
Yeah. So, and
in abundance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And nobody was there to ever take, like when you go to your grandmother's house as an Islander, your grandmother will feed you till you're dead. And that's her accomplishment for that afternoon, is to, son, eat. And if you don't eat, you offend.
It's part of the culture.
Really. Exactly.
When you have gatherings, it's all like these traditional food and everything. We
were talking in the gym the other day. So I feel like that we've got so many superstars on at the top level, but nobody to educate our bottom level, where when they're coming out of the aunties, uncles, because
even cousins actually.
But everyone talks about the US being so unhealthy. If we look closer to home, we're not that much better. You know what I mean? Yes, okay, we don't have access to fast food and stuff like that, but at the same time, we are dying of diabetes, high blood pressure, heart attacks, this stuff. And I'm like, why? You guys live on an island, fresh food. No. It's the bad lifestyles. You eat like you eat like a house, but then don't move. So I feel like there's got to be some voices, and there probably is out there. Like, I mean, I don't know everything, but more focus on that, because we're so like, I don't know, Sonny Bill Williams made it to the highest level of sport, and he's amazing. And he is, don't get me wrong, what an athlete, what a person. But at the same time, let's see what got Sonny, how he got there from the islands. He's got the story just like I guess you do. He
grew up in New Zealand, didn't he?
Okay, grew up in New Zealand, but then obviously went to Australia as a kid. But at the same time, he came from not a poor family, etc. So there was a story there. Let's tell that story to how he got to that superstar level and what he had to do to maintain that athleticism. Because I feel like our youth, they're going, I aspire to be Jonah Lomu, but I don't know how to get there because I'm eating this every day and I'm eating that. Like we've got so much potential that comes from those islands.
Yeah.
But we only recognize them when they're 17 and they're either over the hill and then we've got to get them into shape and then you've got to get the mindset.
Those people, those percentage that made it to this far,
correct,
that are looked after and have the knowledge,
yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah,
are
yeah.
taught.
And don't get me wrong, you know, you grew up there till you were 17. So
I was always a skinny person, actually.
yeah, but that's the thing is that I get it. When you're on the islands, the mindset's different. It's so different.
I don't think, as I said before, there's no education really.
Yeah.
Like fitness, I'm not sure about it now.
Yeah.
But fitness is not a thing. But when I said fitness, but sports is a big thing.
Yes.
You know, I was always active.
Yeah.
Back in the islands.
Yeah.
Always.
But look, at something like this, the aunties and uncles aren't going to go touch rugby down the local park.
I think it's a mentality from generations before.
Yeah.
You know, and these uncles, aunties, moms, whatever, they are still at that mindset.
Yeah.
Like they don't know
a step count.
Else.
They don't know this. Like imagine, you know, your auntie, she's like, oh, I need to go and do 5,000 steps a day. Just to, there's nothing that like that. But that's something as simple as that can help the long run, because, you know, as much as, look, everyone's not going to live forever. But it's the quality of life you have is important. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's something we need to touch on, and that's another collaborate effort we possibly can do together. Is that because, you know, we've got a couple of friends here from all around the world, and I think it's something that, as a fitness professional, we really need to, and that's legacy stuff. You leave that as legacy. You're not just helping the youth, but you're helping the elders.
I mean, I talk to my mom every time I talk to her. I keep asking her, are you eating? Are you eating well? Are you because, for example, my mom's generation, I don't think fitness was even a thing.
No,
you know,
that wasn't important. Yeah.
And so, I'm sure she was active when she was young.
Yeah.
But now they are just they're content just by going to work, come home and eat. Yeah. You know,
it's that stubborn mindset too. And it's also that, oh, it's too late for me. It's too late for me. Do you know what I mean? This is for the young people.
Yes.
So that's something we need to change the mindset. It won't happen overnight, but it's also starts with family. You know, if you can start it in your own family circle of, you know, look, at the end of the day, if Corona should have taught everybody a fucking lesson that your life can be snatched like this.
Moving.
Exactly. All right, Joe, so I think we've got to wrap it up. Thank you for joining me on the podcast. We're going to definitely get you back and talk about some other stuff on other channels. And hopefully you'll see us together doing some stuff in the gym very soon as well. So cheers.